Assalamualaikum and good evening to Sir Ahmad Akbal and my fellow classmates. We are from Group 4. We'll be presenting about supply chain management. Before that, I want to introduce our group members, which is consists of me, Siti Suliza binti Muhammad Safari as a first presenter, Hanani Adriana binti Syamsul Azizan as a second presenter, Nurul Yusra binti Baharudin as a third presenter, Amirul Hazim bin Abdul Rahman as a fourth presenter, Muhammad Farhan bin Zulkifli as a fifth presenter, and lastly Nur Farhana binti Hashim. These are lists of content that we are going to discuss throughout the presentation. Now, let's look out to the definition first. Before I go to the definition of supply chain management, I would like to explain to you what is supply chain. Supply chain can be best described as interlinked organization which involve in creation, distribution, and sale of goods or services and distributes a specific product to the final buyer. Meanwhile, supply chain management are the management of key business processes that extend across that supply chain, from the original suppliers to the customers who purchase the products. Next, we look at the objective of supply chain management. The first one is ensuring efficiency within the company operation. So, for the obvious reason, we know that efficiency is one of the most important aspects in supply chain management. Effectively managing the inventories, transportation, and logistics can be a complex process, but overall understanding on how to do it can greatly benefit for the company operations. It is also can be incredibly costly if the company does not have an adequate supply chain system such as ERP system. What is ERP system? ERP is a short form of enterprise resources planning. That means the company can deliver their product and services through their online consumer with greater speed, efficiency, and also overall quality. So, when manufacturer, wholesaler, retailer collaborate on a supply chain system, it is far much easier to maximize the efficiency in the company's operations. Next, optimizing transportation and logistics. This is one of the key components within supply chain management. So, the company is responsible in ordering, shipping, and also transportation. In this business model, the costs are rather high due to poor timing and collaboration. But with supply chain management, the process should be flowed and help suppliers, manufacturer, and wholesaler are all on the same page. So with supply chain management, they can optimize transportation and logistic activities with any vendor or buyers that they are work with. Hence, the order also automatically put into a system and alert other facilities that are needed to fulfill the order. The third objective are focusing on quality improvements. So, it is important for the company to provide the consumer with absolute best value, as they must also share this goal with their supply chain partners. Also, they are more connected with their partners the product and services should be enhanced dramatically within a collaborative supply chain. The company are creating a system where the quote customer feedback is enabled to their company and other within their supply and others within their supply chain. So, this efficiency and drawback that included in the feedback enable the company to address or what issue that they should be focused on.
There are 5 benefits of supply chain management. First one is better collaboration. Process of supply chain management bring better collaboration among distinct parties of business. It focuses on developing a proper communication channel within the business for avoiding any confusions or disputes. Secondly is cost efficiency. Supply chain management includes inventory management, which when effectively planned and executed can help cut down costs. Through this, managers can stock just enough supplies to meet demand and free up valuable warehouse space. Third one is enhanced output. When there is communication improvement, it adds up to the coordination and collaboration with shipping and transport companies, vendors, and suppliers. Other than that, it can avoid delay in process. Through communication, you can actually lower any delays in process. Since everyone is aware of what they are doing as well as what others are doing, this will mitigate any late shipment from vendors, logistical errors in distribution channels, and holds up on production line. Lastly, it can improve cash flow. Supply chain management allows companies to make smarter decisions, choose the right partners, and accurately predict. For example, working with reliable suppliers not only means fewer disruptions and more satisfied customers, but it also improves cash flow. Supply chain management limitation. First one, it is expensive. Major limitation of process of supply chain management is that it is quite expensive to implement. It requires large investment in terms of time, money, and other resources that become unaffordable for small businesses. Second one, it is complicated. Since it involves multiple departments, sometimes it can be complicated and workers as well as employees may feel insecure and demotivated because employees tend to resist new things and to them the new concept may appear very complicated. The third limitation is it requires professional and trained staff in order to properly execute supply chain management, and in order to hire professional staff, company will need to pay money in which is an expensive proposition. Lastly, it is lack of reliability. Supply chain management lacks of reliability as it is completely dependent upon the mode of information exchange among several departments. If there is any instance of inaccurate information sharing by any of the department, then it will have adverse effect on performance of whole supply chains. Importance of supply chain management is reduce operating costs. Supply chain management can decrease purchasing costs because retailers depend on supply chains to quickly deliver expensive products to avoid holding costly inventories in stores. It also can reduce production costs because manufacturers depend on supply chains to reliably deliver materials to avoid material shortage. Hence, it reduces total supply chain costs because manufacturers and retailers depend on supply chain managers to design networks that meet customer service goals at the least total cost. Secondly is boost customer service. Customers expect the correct product assortment and quantity to be delivered. Customers expect products to be available at the right location. And customers expect products to be delivered on time. And customers also expect product to be serviced quickly. Therefore, as supply chain management can help achieve customer expectation. Last one is it can improve financial position. Supply chain management can help increases profit leverage. Firms value supply chain managers because they help control and reduces supply chain costs. Also, they can decreases fixed asset because it decreases the use of large fixed assets such as plant in the supply chain. And lastly, it can increases cash flow because they speed up product
Hi, my name is Yusra. So now we talk about how the SCM works. So what you can see here is the basic diagram of SCM. It covers 6 stages, which include raw materials, supplier, manufacturer, distributor, retailer, and last one, consumer. This is the way how the product traveling to its buyer. This step involve moving and transform the raw material into finished product, transporting those products and distributing them to the end user. So we can see here, first one is the raw material. Logistic provider subsequently transport the raw material of good to supplier who serve a wholesaler, and the material then delivered to manufacturer who then process it into a final products, and following that it transport to the distributor, then they will supply it to retailer, and the retailer sells the goods to shop to customer buyer. When the buyer buys it, then the cycle is complete. But when the demand comes again, then drive the manufacturer of a new raw material, then the cycle continues again. Okay, next is using technology to enhance SCM. In this modern day, the growing use of electronic commerce has had a major impact on the design on business process. First one is e-commerce, electronic commerce. Is the activity of electronically buying or selling of product on online services or over the internet. In the simple word is any transaction, any commercial transaction which is happen over the internet. As example, online store like Shopee. Next is business to business, also called B2B. Is the exchange of product, services or information between business. Is a form of transaction between business, such as one involving a manufacturer and wholesaler, or a wholesaler and a retailer. Business to business refer to business that is conducted between companies rather than between a company and individual consumer. One example of B2B is automobile manufacturing. When we want to produce a car, this include the tires, hoses, batteries and electronic that are essential for the final consumer product, the vehicle, to operate properly. The manufacturer purchases this product from its various suppliers and incorporates them into the final product. Okay, next, the third one is B2C, business to consumer. Refer to the process of businesses selling product and services directly to customer with no middle person. B2C typically refers to online retailer who sell product and services to consumer through the internet. Example, Lazada and Shopee. Okay, the fourth one is EDI, electronic data interchange. The process which allows one company to send information to another company electronically rather than use paper. So no more paper. Like last time, we use fax machine, so use so much of paper. Now we have buyer internal system to supplier internal system. Like now, when we buy at Shopee, seller can send us the invoice anytime, easy. Okay, last one, ERP, Enterprise Resource Planning. It refers to a type of software that organization use to manage day-to-day business activity. So like last time, many company do manually record. We record everything in the book. So now no more, we have software to do that. The software help plans, budget, predict and report on an organization financial result. So like now, payroll we do in the software, stock check, stock inventory checks, we have software to do that. By using this ERP, it can help reduce human error and help cut costs.
Hi, my name is Samuel. I'll be explaining about the managing supplier. There are 5 elements that is important in managing supplier. Let us start with the first one, which is relationship with supplier. Supplier Relationship Management, or SRM, is the process of identifying the suppliers that are critical to a business and implementing a system of managing relationship with those key suppliers. Good strength of SRM can help us to minimize the supplier and inventory related costs and assist us to enhance on the product quality and improvement on our lead time. Alright, strengthening our relationship with the supplier is very important, and it should be built on a two-way street to ensure both parties to operate effectively. Example of ways to build relationship is by paying on time. By paying on time, it shows that we are actually wanted them to trust us, and we don't want to damage the building image. We don't want to damage the trust that we have been building for a long term, right? And then the next one is by being flexible with payment arrangement. This actually shows that we actually prepared to meet each other's need, either now or in the future. And the next one is review terms regularly. By doing this, we allow opportunities for both parties to improve in a long way. Alright, moving on to the second elements of managing supplier, which is the criteria of reliable supplier. Okay, cost reduction in the supply area includes selecting reliable supplier who can meet a variety of criteria. Thus, selecting a reliable supplier is a core action in our business. Some example of reliable supplier is if they can supply material we ordered in a specific quality, if they can meet our delivery schedule, and if our materials or action will create unnecessary costs or no towards our firms. So most of the common practice in the industry is tying a long-term contract, as they have their preferred parties and others. And the benefits of it, they can provide opportunity for favorable prices. They can provide opportunity to assess the ongoing performance of the supplier, and it also helps the company to decide whether to continue to transact with the supplier or no. Alright, moving on. Okay, hold on. The other criteria that we can use to analyze for our supplier is we may use to analyze them by looking at their price, their quality, their delivery rate, their capacity, and also their geographical location and others. Alright, moving on. The third element for managing supplier is analyzing supplier costs. Okay. TCO or supplier cost is the cost associated with particular price. TCO stands for total cost of ownership. TCO basically includes the purchase cost, the holding inventory cost, the poor quality cost, and the cost of delivery failure. Alright, so purchase cost consisted of cost of materials, cost ordering inventory, cost delivery, receiving, and also inspection. Holding inventory cost consisted of storage cost, insurance, obsolescence cost, and opportunity cost associated with holding inventory. Cost of poor quality includes rework cost, scrap, returning defective material to supplier, and also downtime. And cost of delivery failure includes costs that are triggered by late or early delivery by our supplier. Alright, we can we can determine this TCO by using activity-based costing technique. Alright, moving on to fourth element is TCO, or total cost and ownership, as I mentioned earlier. To have more accurate allocation of cost to supplier, hierarchy structure can be used. The first one is the unit level activities. Additional activities that occur as a result of problem related to faulty quality or late delivery of materials by a particular supplier. Second one is order level activities, involve ordering materials from supplier, receive and inspect either delivered, process and paying supplier's invoice. And the last one is supplier level activities, which includes undertaking a quality audit, employment of dedicated purchasing manager, R&D activities that can relate to particular suppliers. And few steps to analyze the TCO is, analyze the major activities, determine their activity drivers, calculate cost per unit of activity driver, and determine their total cost of ownership. Alright, so the formula is there, I put it in the slides. And lastly, the last elements for managing supplier is evaluating supplier performance. We can evaluate our supplier performance by using SPI or Supplier Performance Index. The formula for that is I already put it in the slides. And there are other ways to evaluate their performance, which is by looking at their material quality, their delivery performance, and also their relationship quality and their price. Okay, I think that is all from me. Thank you.
So the next one is a 5-component supply chain management. So the first one is the plan or strategy. This is one of the most important stage before the beginning of the entire supply chain. Is it essential for the company to finalize the strategy and put them into place? They must checking the demand of the product or services, checking the availability, costing, profit and manpower. That is vital because without a proper plan or strategy in the place, it will be impossible for the business to achieve effective or long-term benefit. Therefore, enough time has to be devoted to this space. Only after finalization of the plan and consideration of all the advantage and disadvantage or the pros and cons, so the one can proceed further. Every business need a plan or a blueprint or roadmap based on which the strategy are made. So the planning helps to identify the demands and supply trends in the market, and this in turn help to create a successful supply chain management system. The next component is sources. In this component, the supplier play a very crucial role in supply chain management. The product and service sold to the end user customer are created with the help of a different set of raw material. It is therefore necessary that suitable quality raw material are procured at that cost effective rates. So if a supplier is unable to supply on time or within the stimulated budget, the business is bound to suffer loss and get negative reputation, which is bad for the company. Is it a competitor that company produces good quality resources so it can create good quality product and maintain the reputation of the company in the market? So this necessitates a strong role for supplier in the supply chain management system. So now we go to the next one is the making or the manufacturing, which is a focus on the productivity and efficiency. So as per preference of the consumer, the firm will perform all activity related to the transformation of raw material to the final product. Activities such as sampling, testing and making happen in this element of supply chain management, or the feedback from consumer create a win-win situation for both, such as a manufacturer and user. As for the firm is improving their production operation constantly. As for the production, is it the one most important aspect in the system? So it's only possible when all the components of the supply chain are tandem with each other. For the process of production to start, is it essential that proper planning and supply of goods as well inventory and well maintained. The production of goods is followed by testing, same like making, packaging, and the final preparation for delivering of the finished product. Another most important component of supply chain management is contributing to direct or indirect integration with the consumer, or as known as a deliver. It has significant contribution to search the brand image of the firm. The finished good and the service are demanded by the consumer have to meet the expectation or desire the consumer through the company delivery channel and logistics service. To have a seamless delivery, the firm utilize various files such as road, air and rail. The transportation is vital in terms of carrying a new material, a raw material soil to the manufacturing unit and delivery the final product to the market. So at each this primary transportation of goods is mandatory to sustain smooth business process. So any business which pay attention to this component and take a good care or will benefit from the production and transportation of it good on time. So it is essential that the company work towards safe and secure transportation process. So now we go to the last component, which is the return system for defective or unreturned product. Among the various components that create a strong supply chain is facility for the return of faulty or malfunctioning goods, along with high positive consumer grievance ratings. Unit no one is infallible. Even a machine may malfunction once in a million times, if not more. As a part of strong business process, one may expect the return of goods under various circumstances. Even the best quality control processes may have unavoidable momentary lapses. So, in the case of a moment such lapses, inventory followed by the consumer complaint, the bad business must instinctively recall products and services and issue an apology. So this not only create a good bonding with the customer, is actually maintain the goodwill in the long run. So the return system also known as a reverse logistic, which is one of the most important component in supply chain management to minimize potentially deterioration of relationship with the customer. On the flip side, this policy actually provide the same cost of action for the firm toward its suppliers. The firm return the low quality defection expired of extensive raw material to the supplier or vendor.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Nofana binti Yashin. Today, I will present about the supply chain challenges. And well, as you can see, today, some modern supply chain must evolve to meet new demands and supply chain challenges. And supply chain managers need to plan ahead to keep everything flowing smoothly. A combination of consumer expectation, more routes to market, international complexities, and other factors create significant challenges throughout the supply chain network. So they have four main supply chain challenges, which is costing. Costing increased costs throughout the supply chain, which is rising price of food to transport goods by road, sea, and air. Increasing commodity price also raising the cost of raw materials. Complex international logistics leading to the higher charges for storage, transfer, and management of the products. Higher labor also incurred from the supplier and manufacturer. Number two is fast changing market, which is supply chain complexity due to multiple channel to market, which is e-commerce websites selling directly to consumers require fast last mile delivery and local logistics. Traditional retailer and wholesaler need large storage location close to major metropolitan areas, combined with the accurate inventory control to ensure product availability. The third-party marketplaces like Amazon require a deep understanding of fulfillment options and close compliance with their terms and conditions. Number three is risk management, which is risk in the supply chain creates pressure. Supplier, manufacturer, logistic, client, and customers spread across multiple countries, time zone, and continents requiring careful coordination and management. Adding more steps to the supply chain create exponential complexity for upstream and downstream partners. Select data and lack of visibility increase the difficulty of reporting of business intelligence and good decision making. Which is regulation, compliance, and quality management demand strong agreement, contracts, and control with supply chain organization. Number four is consumer demands. Consumer demand drive need to improve speed, quality, and services. Consumer want the retail goods immediately and online good within a few days. Product must meet the quality requirement demanded by the customer, and raw material goods and finished product must meet safety and other compliance regulation mandated by law in all countries where they are available. Which is the environment, the environment sourcing of goods is becoming more important to the ethically aware of consumer. There are others challenges that the company has made. Such as they have to deliver their product in time. Example of the company successful using supply chain management is number one is McDonald's. The leading fast food brand is consistently ranked high for excellent supply chain management due to a system where success is shared and value is exchanged between McDonald's and their suppliers. This approach has been widely successful, and McDonald's is now in more than 100 countries with over 35,000 restaurants serving 68 million people each day. Number two is Intel. Manufacturing, technology, and operation are the heart of the Intel business, but the company has put significant additional resources into transforming their supply chain to be more responsive and integrated in order to meet market demands. This effort has successfully increased productivity while reducing process cycle time and making inventory level more efficient. Number three is Nike. Footwear and sport apparel manufacturer Nike is actually pioneering the industry with their strategy for outsourcing manufacturing. with more than 700 factories located in 42 countries around the world. Nike has enjoyed unprecedented supply chain success. The company focus area include lean manufacturing, for increased labor productivity and reduced waste, material consolidation, and innovation and modernization of their manufacturing process. Thank you.